People were thinking that the situation with Gucci Mane, Angela Yee, and Charlamagne, the drama that's going on right now, is like made up and orchestrated and stuff like that. But it's really not. If you remember back when the Gucci Mane clone situation was first going on, and Gucci Mane went on the Breakfast Club during the midst of that time, that was my other channel, my original channel, LOD versus the Internet, the one that got deleted, the one that was popping. The Gucci Mane clone story is one of the things that really blew me up on my other channel. After the first Gucci Mane clone video I did, I got like 1,000 subscribers overnight messing around and it kept climbing. Anyways, I'm just sitting reminiscing, forget about that, the old stuff. But what happened then was when Gucci Mane went on the Breakfast Club, I mean the story's out by now, it's not like it's a secret. He went on there and accused Angela Yee of trying to get with him during I think it was maybe lip service or something, whatever they was around each other. He accused her of coming at him trying to mess with him, and she was like, no, she was like, you bugging, that's not true. So it started way back then, because back then, like I said, my other channel, I had all the videos about the Gucci clone in sequence. That's when everybody really had their fingers on the pulse of it, like people like me that was like really into it and on it from the beginning. And when Gucci Mane was on the Breakfast Club that first time, but back then, I mean that wasn't the first time in his life he was on there, but during the height of the clone thing, like I was saying, you can see I made a video when that happened. I was like, I think this is when they switched the real Gucci Mane back into the picture, because on that interview was the first time, because we was on it. You know what I'm saying? The people that was with the Gucci Mane clone thing, we was like nutballs. Like we was on it. Like we was probably sound crazy to people, and probably damn near might have been really kind of crazy, but we was on top of every little thing. Of any little thing that happened, a hair fall off of Gucci Mane's head, we was there with a magnifying glass, like Inspector Gadget, with pocket tools, airbags, the whole nine, to get every little piece of everything, all the evidence. So we was on it, and we was saying then, I remember I definitely made the video then, I was like, I think they switched the real Gucci Mane back into the picture then, because he looked different on that Breakfast Club interview. Because before that, he was looking spooky as hell, like super duper spooky, like somebody from like a whole different like planet. We weren't even sure if this Negro was a human at this point before that. But on that interview, they switched him back in, I think. And I think he had false memories or something was going on with him around that time. But I also made a video about when the whole thing was going on. Angela Yee they were talking about the cloning thing with somebody else. I think it was somebody was saying it was some other person that was kind of joking about it. And Angela Yee was like the only person that was like believes in it, you know what I'm saying, or at least saying that she thinks it's a possibility. Everybody else taking it as a joke and stuff like that. So what happened this time around, in my opinion, which possible, sound kind of crazy probably, but I'm still going to say it anyway because it came across my mind and it could be true, but it's probably not, is that Angela Yee, when this stuff was going on right now, they beefed. Gucci Mane said what he said because they said he was banned from the Breakfast Club because of what happened with last time with Angela Yee. I think Charlamagne and Gucci Mane, because Charlamagne is part of this whole cover-up of the Gucci Mane clone switch-out cover-up. And like I said then when I was making the videos, at first I was stone cold that he was a clone. But then I kind of adopted the idea that maybe it wasn't a full-fledged clone from an actual cloning lab and cloning facility. It might have just been a lookalike or a double. Because we came across documentation that Gucci Mane was still in jail. At one point they were saying he was dead. It was all kind of stuff going, like, you know what I mean? This was years ago. We are now more advanced in the knowledge of, we know how the internet, people can just put anything on the internet, documents, fake documents and all stuff like that. But back then, this stuff was looking believable. You know what I'm saying? A lot of me myself, I went onto the federal website where he was supposed to be locked up at, and he was definitely said to still be locked up after we seen this so-called whoever he was running around the streets taking pictures and all type of other stuff. I seen myself that his name was still docketed as being in the federal system back then. So there was definitely something going on, but people would say, well, that's what happens because you come out on house arrest. They don't always, like, you'll still be in the system. But I've seen other people come off house arrest or going halfway houses. Your information follows you wherever you're at. They're not going to have your last jail that you was at on the information and you're at a halfway house or somewhere else. So I don't know. But that's when they switched him back in, and I'm thinking that he might have been having false memories or something that was going on, because I think he was straight lying on Angela Yee, because she definitely, I don't think what he was saying was true. And maybe she knows more about the story of this whole clone or switch out thing, because people like it doesn't make sense. Why would they clone Gucci Mane? He's just some Negro off the streets, just some rapper, and just you gotta understand. People like me that have been on this clone stuff and then on this quote unquote conspiracy stuff for the past 10, 15 years, stuff like this to us is not so dramatical that it's astronomical and it's like the biggest thing in the world. Why would they clone somebody like a rat? It's not a big deal. It is a big deal, but at the same time, to people like me, it's not that big of a deal. So it's not like above and beyond that they would pick Gucci Mane to clone him. Why? Because they would. He's influential, just like many other people, entertainers and rappers. And say what you want. A lot of people it does bother me when people be like, oh, they're just a rapper. Rap is like a religion at this point. If you don't understand by now that hip hop is like a religion or is a religion, then I don't know what to tell you. You're just lost. You're not with the times. A hip hop artist is more influential than any other person in the world that you know of. Hip hop sells everything. Hip hop influences everything. All culture, fashion, everything. So there's no way you're going to sit there and be like, he's just a hip-hop artist. Yeah, a hip-hop artist that has more control over your child's mind than you do, believe it or not. That's why they would clone somebody like Gucci Mane. And like I said, it's not like they had to go through billions of man hours and trillions of dollars in some big elaborate scheme and plan to clone somebody like Gucci Mane. This is regular. They do this. They've been doing this. But like I said, I started kind of thinking maybe he wasn't a clone though. He was just a person that was switched out to a lookalike just so he can get money and stuff like that. Or maybe it was a social experiment. Or maybe maybe he almost died in jail because they were saying that cops killed him or something, or inmates killed him or something in jail at one point. So it could have been something like that. You never know. But it definitely wasn't him. When he first came out, the Gucci Mane that we seen first come out of jail, it definitely wasn't him. I'm a person myself that went from being skinny when I was young, gained weight. One time when I was young, I went from like 180 to like 390 at one point when I was young. I mean, not 390, 290 at one point, almost 300 pounds. Then I went way back down to like 220 at one point, then back up to like 250, back to like 220, 230 again, back to like 2. At no point is your actual features and bone structure change. Your face structure changed because this fat builds up different spots and looks different on your body, around your waist and stuff like that, or just maybe it builds up different places, but it doesn't give you different features. It does not give you different features. And also his tattoos were in different places. We already pointed that out a long time ago, years ago. Some of his tattoos weren't there. They say they removed them. All right, but what about the ones that are shaped different in different places on his body? Oh, because he lost weight or gained weight, and you're not going to lose weight and they're going to expand or expand that far and few in between, so it's that much big of a difference. It don't work like that. Then his teeth look totally different. Already got his teeth. He got that much work done to his teeth while he was in jail still. I'm not saying it's impossible. Maybe they do it. I don't know. But to go into jail and come out with a whole new, brand new set of pearly whites that are just immaculately spaced and everything about them is perfect. Maybe they do that. I ain't never. They'll fix your teeth when you're locked. If you get a cavity, they'll take it out. Maybe they'll give you a partial or something like that. I don't know, to fix something, but to actually do all that work to your mouth in jail, I don't know about that. I ain't never seen it. I ain't gonna say it's impossible, but I never seen that like that before. So I think Angela Yee, after this beef happened, Angela Yee was on the brink of exposing something. So Charlamagne is on the team of the people that either cloned him or replaced him or whatever the case may be, to jump out in front of it. Now they're trying to discredit Angela Yee and go on this campaign and start beef and all this little intermix and stuff that's going to cause it to a problem just to control the situation. Because if the information really did get out that Gucci Mane was cloned or replaced at first, that's serious news, as regardless of the fact. To me, it's not, like I said, not a huge deal, like it's impossible, but it would be detrimental information. Because now they're going to be asked, there's a lot more questions to be answered after that will be asked. So now it looks like the Breakfast Club, they're talking about Charlamagne and Angela Yee followed each other on Twitter and all that type of stuff. Which, 5, 10 years ago, I would be like, whatever. But in this day and age, in the internet era, 2019 day and age, that's like heavy stuff. You know what I'm saying? You don't follow somebody on Twitter or Instagram. That's like really, really a big, huge, that's big business. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a huge deal. You know what I mean? So, I think Angela Yee's on the brink of exposing some stuff. Because like I said, I had a video of it on my other channel when she was talking about clones on there and saying thinks it could be possible and everything like that. And people were laughing and thinking it's a joke. But she's on it. You know what I'm saying? She's on top of stuff like that. That was another thing that was shady too when Charlamagne was asking him about, he was saying he burnt a lot of bridges, and a lot of people he knew stopped talking to him. Even when he got out of jail, they turned his back on him. Because we were saying that at one point too. How come he's not around nobody that he knew before he went to jail? Everybody he knew from his life was out of the picture. You know what I mean? Everybody from his life, he wasn't around nobody that he knows when he first got out of jail at all. Just this clone, whatever it was. So that was weird as hell. We was like, how's that? That don't even seem realistic. Like, you're not around nobody. Why are you not around nobody you know that really knows you from back in the day, avoiding everybody? So that was definitely super shady. I remember when that was happening, they was talking about that. And there was other stuff, you know what I'm saying? There was just a few things that definitely lined up that was definitely looking like there was some other stuff going on. So yeah, of course it sounds crazy and all that kind of stuff, but it is what it is. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Then there's this footage of him doing some weird, crazy dances at one point when he first got out. Like I said, when it first was going on, people that had their fingers on the pulse of it, we was on every little thing that was happening. Like every Gucci Mane couldn't take a squat without us being everywhere he was at all given times, any given time. We was on top of every single little thing. You know what I'm saying? It definitely was a weird, spooky situation. Even before he got locked up, there was a bunch of random texts, random posts coming from his Twitter and stuff like that, and they was trying to say his Twitter was hacked. It was just a bunch of weird stuff going on. You know what I'm saying? But this situation with Charlamagne, Angela Yee, Gucci Mane, it's definitely a real situation going on. Something is definitely brewing behind the scenes. Something is definitely building up behind the scenes with this situation.